All right, so for question number 1, we have a position versus time graph. Okay, the first thing they want us to calculate is the total distance traveled. So what I have to do is figure out how far did I go in each section of the graph. Well, in this part of the graph, how far did I go? 0. I was stationary. Okay, and then here I went from a position of 0 to a position of -3. All right, so I went -3 meters. Of course, when I calculate distance, the negative won't matter. Right, then in this section, I went from -3 to +2, so I went +5 during that section. Didn't go anywhere here. Okay, and then I went from +2 to -6, so that would be -8 meters. And then I went from -6 back to 0, so that would be +6 during those 2 sections there, 3 sections there. Everybody all right with that? Okay, so I'm going to say they get a mark for each of the numbers here. Okay, they got for any one of these that they got right, whether they had the negative or not. Okay, 1 mark for each of those, and then we have to add them up. Right, so we're looking at we're looking just for distance, so 22 meters would be their 5th mark for part A. That's fine. You still get 6, but you don't get more marks. Yeah. All right, and then the last part, what's the average velocity for the whole trip? Well, my initial position is 0. What's my final position? 0. What's my average velocity? 0. 3 marks for that. I'm being very, very generous. Okay, so 3 marks for 0 meters per second. Okay. All right, for question number 2, I have a velocity versus time graph, and I need to calculate the total displacement. So total displacement is average velocity times time. All right, I can find my average velocity for the first part. It's what? 4, right? I just traveled at 4 meters per second for 2 seconds. All right, if I travel at 4 meters per second for 2 seconds, I should go 8 meters. Okay, base times height. And then in this part, I slow down from 4 to 0, but I still am traveling forward, right? My average velocity would be 2, so that's the base, 2 seconds, times the height, 4 over 2, right? So we're going to have 4 meters there, which means our total displacement, so give them 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for that, and our total displacement will be positive 12 meters. I will let it go if they don't have a positive on there today, and today only. In the future, that would require a positive on it. All right, so whole quiz is out of 11, so please give them a mark out of 11, let them see it, and then you can bring them up to me.